Hey guys, Sandy here and welcome back to my channel. Today I am playing with the Simon Says stamp and Brutus Monroe Stamptember collaboration. So this is an awesome stamp set. These are both available while supplies last. So this is called Bounty of Wreaths, and we have a Christmas wreath with some bells and a big old bow. We also have a fall kind of Thanksgiving-y type wreath with pumpkins and sunflowers and gorgeousness. And then we have a Halloween wreath with jack-o'-lanterns and a witch's hat. And look at the little spider. Each of the wreaths has some coordinating themed words for it. And then each of the wreaths also has a great die. Now I am thinking about making a card, you guys, but I also want to make a layout. So let's see what I can do. All right, you guys, the first thing I'm going to do is grab my anti-static powder bag, and I'm just going to rub some over top of some vellum, and then I'm going to place that vellum into my MISTI. Now I've gone ahead and picked out one of the stamps, and the first stamp I'm going to work with is the fall stamp. I just think it's adorable. I'm going to go ahead and use some of this embossing ink. I am going to do it twice, and it is super easy to do when you have your MISTI stamp tool. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to grab my Golden Gourd embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. I'm just going to place it over top of that vellum, and then I'm going to grab my heat tool. Now this is not heat resistant vellum. I could not find my heat resistant vellum when I was starting to do this, so this is just regular old vellum from the craft store. So I went ahead and heated a little bit from the back, and then once I felt like the vellum was heating up a little bit, I went ahead and heated it from the front. And I got a really good embossed image. This golden gourd over top of the vellum is utterly gorgeous, you guys. Now, the dies do come all together, so I did have to break them apart, and I just plucked off those sharp little bits with my cutters. Now, once you figure out where your die has to go around your wreath, the easiest thing to do I have found is to grab a little bit of purple tape, slap it in the center of that wreath, and run it through your die cut machine. Now that is die cut and off to the side, so now I'm going to make a card panel. Now this is the super ridiculous cheat way to do this. So this is watercolor paper, and I am just spraying it down with some water, and then I am taking my splat brush, which is basically almost a blush brush that you would use for makeup, and it's a brush that I splat. As you can see, this is not a fancy technique by any means, but I love the results of it, and it is something I do on a pretty regular basis, so this brush is the only brush that I use to splat with. So I did use 3 different aqua pigment colors, and as you can see, I am just going ahead and placing it right on top of that brush and then splatting it right down. So I did use orange, I also used brown, and then I used gilded. Now I am going to take my heat tool once again and heat that up, but don't you guys worry your pretty little heads. I'm not going to make you watch me dry watercolor paper. It's not the funnest thing in the world to watch, trust me. Now, I do want to say that if you are interested in the stamps or the dies, you better get yourself over to Simon Says Stamp pretty quickly. So what happens with Simon Says Stamp is every day in the month of September, which they call Stamptember, they release an exclusive thing. Stamps and dies. They collaborate with a bunch of different companies, and many times the products sell out like in a flash, you guys. So if it is something you're interested in, now is the time to get it. It is a limited release only until it runs out. They do not reorder. You cannot get it anywhere else, so that is the place that you need to purchase it. Now I am just going to go ahead and trim down this vellum piece. As you can see, it says "Thankful for You," and I went ahead and used the Golden Gourd embossing powder one more time. Now I am going to use this glitter stock, which I am absolutely in love with. If you haven't checked out glitter stock, it is something you definitely need to do. It is available on the Brutus Monroe website, and let me tell you guys, it is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous glitter paper. The glitter doesn't fall off, it doesn't rub off, nothing like that. It just stays where it's supposed to. It's beautiful to die cut as well. In this case, I just wanted it as my background. Now, I wanted a very thin white border around the front of my card. So, you know, instead of measuring like a normal person would, I eyeballed it. I find that when I scrapbook, I eyeball things a lot, so that carries over into my card making as well. As you can see, my ATG ran out of tape right there, so I had to grab my other one. Now, again, I'm just eyeballing it to give me that nice little white edge around my card. And I am going to make sure that I add a lot of tape to the back of this watercolor paper because of two reasons. The watercolor paper has texture to it, and the glitter stock also has texture to it. So I just want to make sure that there is enough adhesive that it really adheres to it. So now I'm going to take these vellum pieces and I'm going to adhere them directly onto my card. Now I had the idea of putting these on white cardstock before I put it on top of the background, but I liked the way that the vellum with the Golden Gourd embossing powder looked directly on top of the watercolor paper. I thought it looked cool. It is a little bit difficult to get that look to show on camera and in the photos, so trust me, it looks awesome, but you don't get the full effect over video or over photos, and you know, that's one thing that kind of stinks, but it is gorgeous. I also created 2 other cards to go with each of the wreaths, one Christmas and one Halloween, and you'll be able to see those there. So here is just a photo of the product and then a photo of the cards. So if you guys are interested, make sure you click on the links down below to get yourself the products, and I will see you again real soon for another video.